Hello everyone, welcome to SP Easy Learning. Today we're going to talk about PISHEET. PISHEET is a special data exchange method in SAP process production. In this class, I will show you the configuration and data flow demo for PISHEET. Okay, let's start. Here is the PISHEET example. Let's see what's the content of PISHEET. Here is the PISHEET header. In header, we can see process order number and the material number, and also our PI number. PI means process instruction. Here's the toolbar of a PISHEET. So we have change display switch, save, and complete buttons. Below the toolbar is the main content of a PISHEET. On the right side, we have characteristics. And here are the values of these characteristics. You can find some characteristic values are displayed only, and other characteristics you need to input some value. This is configurable, and later I will introduce you how to configure it. Now I'm trying to input some values for these characteristics. For our example, we are doing the process order confirmation. We need to input some required information for order confirmation. For example, the confirmation text, posting date, yield quantity, and confirmation status. After inputting all this data, I will click Complete button, and then we can manually send back the data to process order, or we can make a background job to send back the data. Then order will be confirmed. Now I'm gonna introduce you how to realize this PISHEET. How to configure these characteristics to a PISHEET and how to assign this PISHEET to a process order. And also how to exchange data between process order and this PISHEET. Basically, we need 8 steps. First, we need to create these characteristics, and then we will assign these characteristics to a PI category. This PI category we can consider as a characteristic group. And then we need to assign this PI category to a destination. Then we need to assign this destination to a recipe. And then we create PI after order release. And then we will send this PI to PISHEET. And we will check and input values in PISHEET. At last, we need to send back this PI to process order. For our example, I will create 2 PI categories. One category only have 2 characteristics, order number and order quantity, which are display only. And another PI category, I will configure some characteristics that need a value input. Okay, first step, O25C, create characteristic. This characteristic we will use for display process order number. So the basic information is the same as normal characteristic. The special part of this characteristic is it has a process management button. In this page, we can define the data resource of this characteristic. As you can see, we can make the data resource from process order table. For order number, AUFNR stands for order number. That's the setup of a characteristic. Okay, step 2, assign characteristics to a PI category. The T code is O12C. Now you can see the 2 categories I configured before. First category has two characteristics, which are order number and order quantity. For category type, we choose 1. Process parameter means display only. Another one we choose type 2 means we need to input some value for this characteristic. Here you can see the two characteristics in this PI category. Now you can see the characteristics in this category. You can see these characteristics all start with PBPI. That means they are standard characteristics, not configured by me. SAP provides some default categories. With these categories, you can do auto confirmation, you can do good receipt or good issue for this process order. Now we will assign these categories to a destination. The T code is O10C. For destination types, usually we will choose number 1 or number 4. Number 4 is for our example. That is, we can check the PI sheet and input some value in another screen. The other ones are for some interface design. That means we can transfer this PI sheet to third-party system. Now you can see I have already assigned these PI categories to this destination. The first category has two characteristics. The second category has several system standard characteristics. These two categories assigned to a destination, that means all the characteristics will be assigned to this destination. Now we need to assign this destination to a recipe, to the face. Okay, destination assigned to this face. Now we are going to create a process order with the recipe. Because this recipe has a destination, and this destination has PI categories which has characteristics. So that means the PI sheet generated from this process order will have all these characteristics. Another point is we can configure the planning profile so that the process instruction will create it automatically once the order released. Okay, right here, on release, generate control recipe. But for our example, I will do it manually. Okay, we create a process order for this material, input order quantity and date. Choose the recipe and save the order. Now we can check the order if the PI created or not. And on the operation screen, we have a button, process instruction. Now we can see there's no process instruction for this operation, for this phase. And then we release this order. Save the order. Check the order again. PI still not created because of the file setup I said before. Now we will manually create the PI for this operation. And there's a message, PI already created. Okay, let's check the PI. Okay, now you can see PI already created with the PI categories we configured in the destination. And the characteristics has already got the value from order. Because when we create the characteristic, we define the data resource from table. We saved order, and the next step we will send this PI to PISHEET. We can use CO53 or COR2 to send the PI to PISHEET. First, let's see CO53 screen. We can filter the transfer request by order number. And after we click the send button, this PI will send to PISHEET. And when we use COR2, we still can transfer the PI through the list of PI for this process order. So we will have the same screen as CO53 and same functionality. We click the send button and refresh, and it shows that PI already sent to PISHEET. Now we can check the PI sheet and input some values in PI sheet using CO60. And we can identify the PI sheet through order number. Okay, now we can see the PI sheet. First, we display the PI sheet. First, we check the header information of PI sheet, and then we can see the detailed information about this PI sheet. For this example, we need to input some values for order confirmation, so we choose change mode. And now we input some values for order confirmation. Just input all required information for order confirmation. Now we can save the result. But if we want to do data exchange with process order, we need to mark it as a complete. Alright, confirm to mark it as completed. And then we will check the process order before and after PISHEET sent back to process order. Here, process order has a stater called CRCR, means control recipe created. Now we will check the confirmation data about this operation. Nothing changes right now. And then we will send back the PISHEET to process order to see what will happen to this process order. We will use CO54 for PISHEET transfer. send the data back to process order. Okay, we filtered the data transfer request by process order number. Now we can see the transfer request of this process order and click send button. Okay, PISHEET already sent back to process order. Now we'll check the result about this process order. First, we can see the status of the process order. It has a partial confirmation. Okay, we check the confirmation data about this operation. Now we can check the confirmation result, which we input in PISHEET. Okay, that's all the configurations and the transaction process of PISHEET. Let's record the whole process. First, we create characteristics and assign it to PI categories, and then we assign the PI category to destination, and then assign the destination to a recipe. And we create a process order and release it, and manually create the PI. Then we send the PI to PISHEET, and we check the PISHEET and input some values for order confirmation. And the last step, we send back the data to process order. But order confirmation through PISHEET is just an example for today's class. As I said before, SAP provides many standard PI categories for PISHEET. So after we assign all these PI categories to destination, we can do order confirmation, we can do good receipt, we can do good issue, and other operations to a process order, all through PISHEET. Alright, that's all for today's class, and see you next time. Bye-bye.